Alrighty guys, what's going on? So today in this video we're going to be talking about some of my favorite and least favorite in a ranking system from 1 to 10, I think. If I counted right, probably didn't, because I suck at math. But anyway, what we're going to do from now on in every video that I can remember to do it in, I'm going to shout out 2 channels, and I can't put it down in the description because I don't know how to link stuff, but if you do want to find out where they are, just, search them in the search engine bar thing up there on YouTube. So, number 1 channel is the Fly Fishing Ninja. This is going to be the first of probably a lot of channels that are going to be shouted out in the next coming months. Number 1 is the Fly Fishing Ninja. Make sure you guys go check out his channel. He catches trout using a tenkara rod, which is really cool. I've never even heard of a tenkara rod until I watched his videos, so make sure you guys go check out his video. And he's catching some pretty cool trout, which we don't have trout around here, so it's pretty cool to watch him catch them up there. So, channel number 2 is my cousin's channel, TheBackRoad Fisher. He's actually getting ready to make a video tomorrow. He texted me a little bit ago, and so make sure you guys go check out his channel as well. And make sure you subscribe to him as well. The Fly Fishing Ninja actually just hit 600 and something yesterday or the day before. I am terrible with dates. But anyway, my cousin's channel, the TheBackRoad Fisher, he only has like 12. So make sure you guys go check out his channel and subscribe to him as well. And make sure you guys tell him that the Topwater King sent you, because he probably will subscribe back. Anyway. So today, as I said, we're going to be talking about my favorite to least favorite topwater lures. Number 1 is probably going to come as a shock to you guys. Now, normally, some of you guys would probably have thought I would be saying, oh wow, excuse me, did not expect that. Anyway, you guys would probably expect me to say the Whopper Plopper, right? Well, today is not going to be the Whopper Plopper. My number 1 fishing lure, just out of catching a lot of fish and big fish, is a popper. And the reason, as I just said, it catches a lot of fish and it catches big fish. I've caught so many fish on poppers. This one here is a Strike King Splash Popper. I have 2 Strike Kings, I have 2 Rebels, and 1 Cotton Cordell. And I think I have another one that's made by Storm. It's like a Chug and Spook, which is basically a popper anyway. But yeah, that there is probably number 1. And so yeah. Number 2 is probably going to be Mr. Frog. And again, you guys are probably surprised I'm not talking about the Whopper Plopper. But this is going to be a video mainly on number 1, how many fish I've caught on it. Number 2, the amount of my liking, I guess you could say, how much I like fishing the bait and how much bites I've had on the bait. But number 2 is a frog. This in here is a Spro popping frog. You can use whatever frog you like. One frog that if I were you, I would not buy and kind of stay away from is the poppin' pad crashers or the regular pad crashers. I own one and they honestly just not really good. If you are going to buy one, I suggest either the Spros or the Strike King versions. Those are probably my favorites. Haven't tried the River to Sea Bully Wall or whatever it is, but I'm looking forward to trying it at some point this year. It looks like a pretty good frog. Number 2 is the one you guys have probably been waiting on for me to say, Whopper Plopper. Number 130, Mr. Whopper Plopper has caught 2 fish for myself, and has caught a lot of fish for everybody else. It was actually a really cool story behind this bait. The first day I ever even went fishing with it at a new lake, very first cast, I caught a 5-pound, 2-ounce fish with it, and it's probably been one of my new favorite topwaters as of late. But yeah, that one there is a really good bait. Number 4 is the bait that got me started on bass fishing. This is the bait, this is the exact bait that I started using many, many years ago. I think it was 4 or 5, I think it was 4.5 years ago. For literally like half a year, this was the only bait I used for like a half a year. And the reason why is every time I went fishing with it, I would catch fish every single time. And, you know, who doesn't like catching fish every single time you go fishing? That is Mr. Hedden Topwater Torpedo. This is a tiny torpedo. Now, this is not the micro one, but it's not the big one. It's the medium size. Now, I do know that they make like a teeny tiny one that's like made for panfish. I don't own one of those, mainly because I don't like using those tiny little baits like that. But this one here is a good one. In my opinion, this one here probably is one of my favorite colors of topwater lures. It's that black with white, and it's really good for small baits like this because it mimics a little locust or a little bug or beetle or whatever sitting on the water. I've caught bluegill with this, and I've almost caught crappie with it. I actually watched a crappie come up and hit a topwater torpedo one time, but sadly I didn't know that crappie had paper thin mouths, so I set the hook and basically ripped his face off. Anyway, then number 5, I think, the Sexy Dawg walking bait. This one here, back in 2016, I bought this specific one, and I've bought 3 other ones since. Easily my favorite walking bait. It's just a really good bait. I've caught a lot of fish with it, and had some pretty good days out on the water with it. Number 3, where did I learn math? I don't know. Public school, that's where. Anyway, number 6, I think, if I lose count, I'm sorry, I'll do that a lot, is a trick worm. Now, a lot of you guys are probably thinking, a trick worm, well, you use that for wacky rigs and shaky hits. But if you take a trick worm with a small hook like this is a 1/0, I think, EWG, might be a 2/0, I don't know. But you take a small EWG hook like that, you cast this worm, use a spinning rod. Don't use a bait casters. Bait casters, these aren't even remotely heavy enough. Use a spinning rod with whatever line you prefer. I use 10-pound Berkeley Trilene. Cast it out on mats, thick, heavy mats of grass, and just sit there and slowly twitch it along. And it looks like a little snake just twitching along up there on top of that grass. And I tell you what, I've had some of the biggest explosive hits on this than any other bait I got. Easily one of my favorite finesse topwater baits around, and you'll catch a lot of fish with it. Number 2 is another finesse style topwater bait. It's a lot more finesse than a horny toad, which will be coming up pretty soon, and that is a brush hog style bait. This one here is a Strike King game hog. You can use normal brush hogs, you can use baby brush hogs, you can basically use whatever kind of brush hog type bait you want, but these here will catch you a lot of fish. And one thing that's cool about these baits is the fish will hit them multiple times. I've actually had a couple different instances that I've had like a fish hit these baits 4 to 5 times before they actually engulf it and actually get hooked. I had one time that a fish was coming completely out of the water. Like, I think the final hit that he ended up doing before I hooked him, he flew like probably a foot out of the water and was trying to get this thing, and then I ended up hooking him. He hit it 5 times previously. These here work just on a weightless hook. I use a 3/0 for that, just because it's a bigger hook that it will get into the fish better. Number 3, or why do I keep saying number 3? A swim bait. Whatever number this is, a swim bait. Now, I don't use a swim bait often, but when I do, I like throwing it either by grass, like in the middle of the water column by the grass, or on top of the grass. This is a big easy. I haven't gotten really a chance to throw this yet in a pond worth fishing this bait, but I tell you what, I think this thing will catch fish for sure during the summertime this year. Number whatever this is, I think this is number 9, is the Zoom Horny Toad, or any other buzzing toad style baits. Honestly, these are not my favorite baits because I've only caught one fish on them, and I wasn't even using it the proper way. I was actually flipping it with just weightless underneath of a tree limb. I ended up catching a fish doing that. My dad actually does that with them normally. He doesn't even buzz them across top of the water. He does it, just kind of flips it out by the grass and trees. But yeah, this here is a good bait for flipping. It actually is a really cool bait to flip, just because of the bites you'll get. You'll get a lot of bites on it flipping, but topwater wise, haven't really got many bites on it. But you know, might be different in some areas. Then number 10, the very lowest of the low. You guys could probably already hear what it is, and you probably already know what it is from past videos. The buzzbait. I hate this thing. Honestly, it is, if I could hate a topwater lure, even though I hate to say that I hate a topwater lure. I love all topwater lures, especially when they get exploded on by 7-pounders. This one here is literally the only topwater lure I hate. I hate this lure more than lipless crankbaits. I hate this lure more than Alabama rigs. And that's saying something because I really hate Alabama rigs. But buzzbaits, honestly, in my opinion, now this is just my opinion. I don't want to get a bunch of hate in the comments. In my wholehearted opinion, I hate this lure. It sucks. I've never caught a fish on it. I lost one and had one other blow up. That's literally all I've had on this bait. They suck. They honestly do. And I've had trailer hooks. A lot of people say, well, if you're not getting hits and not getting hookups, throw a trailer hook on there. I've had a trailer hook on every buzzbait I've ever owned. I've only owned 2, but both of them always had a trailer hook. Always did. And just never caught one. So that there tells you quite a bit, because I just hate them so much. So much. Anyway, so I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We just got 273. I want to say 273, but I might be wrong. Anyway, so yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Go check out the channels, the Fly Fishing Ninja and the TheBackRoad Fisher, and subscribe to them if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.